Hey folks, my name is Jürgen, aka Not I'm Proud of It, and Destiny has brought you to my channel today, oh yes it has, to talk a little bit about the Magic the Gathering vintage market. I've been talking a lot about sorcery recently on the channel, and that's because Arthurian Legends launched, and I had a blast in Essen at the Spiel event where the Arthurian Legends set actually officially was launched. And I have a lot of content from Essen, and there is still a lot of content coming. But I really wanted to talk about Magic the Gathering today because I see some things happening in the vintage market. And I made a video about the whole Commander fiasco recently and Wizards of the Coast taking over, and I got bashed for it, and the comments were horrible. And I just revisited that video and had a look, and actually about 90% of the people seem to agree with me, and the video had quite some views. So yeah, I think the negative voices as often are the loudest, and all I am saying is that I think cards should have value, and that I think Wizards of the Coast sometimes messes up things. But yeah, then out of the blue, of course, the Game Piece faction shows up on the channel. And that's how it is. If you do a channel, if you have an opinion, people can complain about that opinion. And that's cool. You have an opinion, I have an opinion. And I'm voicing my opinion, and I think cards should have value. What happened as a fallout of all that Commander, Wizards taking over, banning cards, other cards going up in value, is that especially a few cards have gone up in value a lot. And one of those cards is the Mana Vault. And actually, I, just so you know, have traded in a couple of Spanish black bordered Mana Vaults recently for my Time Twister, together with a lot of other cards. So obviously I didn't see it coming. I still needed this one, the unlimited one, for my unlimited set, and I saw it rise in price, so I got this PSA 8. I hope you can see it, otherwise I will put up a picture or a short video in this video. Can't do it now while I'm recording, but of course I can do it in the editing. And I didn't buy it to invest. That's the first comment you get from people who think cards shouldn't have value, but you shouldn't invest in cardboard. No, I'm collecting, and that's cool. This is going into my binder. I hope I can break it out of the slab here pretty neatly. I couldn't find any other that were in good condition. This is a near mint 8, so it's not perfect, but for my set it's really nice. And I wanted to get it before it skyrockets, especially the unlimited one. And I didn't have any in my collection anymore, so that's cool. I got a nice card back for it, and now I probably could have traded the black bordered ones for a lot more, or traded in the black bordered ones for a lot more, but I don't mind. You win some, you lose some, and at that moment it was still a good deal. So yeah, who can imagine what happens in the end with those cards and where they go. But what I wanted to talk about as well, and sometimes I take too long with this, I know, but I want to give you a background where I am coming from and where my thinking is coming from. So not only this card has been going up, and that's mainly because Wizards of the Coast, of course, has done some things that resonated in the market in a certain way. I see as well that other vintage cards are sought after, and especially the high-end cards, where a couple of months ago, you could find the Power 9 very cheaply. As I will link to the video I made about Wizards of the Coast at the end of this video, taking over the Commander format, and I will link to the video I made about the Time Twister, my Time Twister that I got by trading in like 30 years of bulk. And of course you still in the end have to add some funds to that. But a couple of months ago that Time Twister was still available. I can't find any at the moment. I'm looking at vintage cards all the time, just if either to upgrade mine or to add to my collection. Mishra's Workshop Antiquities, my favorite set. I got 2, and I want to have a play set. They were like 1400 to 1600 in good condition for the longest time, like 1 or 2 years already, since the Magic the Gathering 30th anniversary disaster. They are not very available anymore. Power 9, especially Moxes. The poor ones and heavy plate ones, poor ones are normally inked or something's like really wrong, like there's a crease in there or whatever, and the heavy plate ones are just like really heavy plate. They've seen some action on concrete probably. They are still out there for quite an amount, I have to say. Even a Mox Pearl poor condition will set you back still $2,000, and that was lower the last couple of months. And don't talk about the good ones, and don't even mention the near mint ones or the excellent to near mint ones. They are not really out there anymore, and I see them disappearing from the bigger websites. I'm not paying a lot of attention to Facebook. I'm not paying a lot of attention to the second-hand market privately. I keep an eye on official Magic the Gathering dealers. And there are some here in Europe that obviously are pretty big. Like 341, that's where I'm normally in buying. The Mana Vault here I bought on Card Market. And there are 1 or 2 others that are pretty trustworthy where you can buy cards and the condition is mentioned in a very accurate way. But what I see on these sites, they get in new inventory all the time, but the good cards, they are still disappearing, where everybody normally says, yeah, vintage, nobody's interested anymore. And it's crazy to me that this is like happening without anybody talking about it. The only one as often that has mentioned it recently, that he has a feeling that the vintage market has been going up a little bit, is Rudy, of course. And his feelings often are right, and I have that feeling for quite a while as well. Made a couple of videos about it already. And I don't say jump into vintage. The prices are still softer than they have been before. If we take the example of a Mishra's Workshop, the 14 to 1600 I just mentioned a couple of months ago, maybe 1800 to 2000 now, which is quite a substantial increase if you can find them. That has been $2,400 to $2,600 like a couple of years ago, before the Magic the Gathering 30th anniversary disaster. So we're still not where we were, obviously, but be aware, if you are looking to complete these old sets, as I do, even cards like the unlimited rares, which are the cheapest ones out there, are actually rising in price. It's crazy. I've been looking at a Savannah line for quite a while, and I bought one a couple of months ago for $120, which I think is a lot of money for an unlimited rare that is not on the reserved list. But it's an iconic card, and it was one of the last white cards I was missing, so I thought, hey, I want to get it. It's $150 again now. And out there I see a lot of these cards, like the Mana Vault, of course, due to the Commander thing, but still, yeah, the Wheel of Fortune is creeping up again. The dual lands are creeping up again. Try to find an unlimited volcanic island. I've seen one in light plate condition for $1,100, and it was gone pretty much right away on one of those stores. You might find it on Card Market, you might find it at a Magic the Gathering event, sure, but if you are looking at the common online places, those cards are being bought. It's not that they are sitting there on the shelf and catching dust. It's crazy to me that these old cards still are that wanted, especially as the price is still very high, because the duels, the unlimited duels, they haven't dropped that much. The unlimited Power 9 hasn't dropped that much. Of course, $200-300 is a lot of money, but if you're coming from 2000 and going down to 1700-1800, it's, compared to other cards, not a lot, of course. Percentage-wise, yes, but in general, those price swings for the high-end cards are kind of normal. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. Before I go on with my sorcery content from Spiel, I still have a couple of interviews. Drew Tucker might interest you, Magic the Gathering fans, as well. One of the original 25 Magic the Gathering artists. I talked to him at Spiel. He's painting for sorcery now, obviously, and he's still doing a great job. It's another one of the 25 original ones I have interviewed. That interview is coming soon. Keep an eye on the channel for that. But I think it is important to recognize that the old cards are not dead, definitely not dead, very much alive, and maybe even gaining in strength. So look out for those old cards, and maybe get the ones you still want while the prices are pretty low. And until the market explodes again, stay healthy, stay frosty in the meanwhile, and I talk to you next time. Thanks a lot for listening, folks. I appreciate your support a lot. I appreciate this view. Please hit the like button and leave a comment. That helps the channel a lot. And if you liked the video, maybe you hit the subscribe button as well. That would be really nice. Check out the other videos I was talking about in the beginning of this video. I've been linking to them here, or I am linking to them here. Bye, folks. Thanks a lot for listening.